Well, it's January 1st. The new year is here, and we've finished another year. I'm very thankful that I've read through the Bible again this past year, and I hope that you have too. I know that I have a number of friends, people in the church, and others that read through the Bible in a year. I want to get you started on the right foot today. Let's all read through the Bible in a year. We have a chart that we follow, and I'll be reminding you of it daily and what verses and chapters it is. On the first day of the year, we're reading Genesis 1, 2, and 3, and Matthew chapter 1. The book of Genesis is very, very important. You can't understand the Bible unless you understand Genesis and the great truths that are contained therein. So I hope that you'll make it a New Year's resolution, if it may be, that you would read through the Bible in a year. I've read through the Bible every year, God being my helper, for 42 years. I've been saved 43 years, and I believe it's about 42 years I've read every year through. And every day of every year I get something new, because the Bible is a living book. It's nothing that is dead and dry and old. You read something someone read, a person wrote, and you read it and you've read it. It's old if you read it again, but not the Bible. Now the book of Genesis beginning. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Wow. The great creator. It's very clear here. Right in the offset of God's word. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Now Satan has fought that, and of course down through the years, he's brought up the lie of the devil, the theory of evolution, which doesn't make any sense at all. Darwin, his theory has been disproved, and they don't have one missing link. They have thousands of missing links, and it makes no sense. Creation makes much more sense than evolution. The Big Bang Theory, my. How foolish, how ridiculous that, listen, we're starting a new year, and you heard fireworks last night and things, but in order to have a bang, you got to have a firecracker or a gun or something. You got to have something to make a bang, and so the Big Bang Theory is foolish. You can't make something out of nothing unless you're God, and then He created the whole deal in 6 days, which is such a wonderful thing. So in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Was it 6 literal days? Well, the Bible says it was. It says morning and evening was the first day. And so I'm a literalist from the Bible, unless it shows otherwise. If it's figurative or it's some kind of an allegory and it's not actually literally true, but I take it as literal. We closed out the book of Revelation yesterday, and those things in Revelation, the monsters, the angels, the demons, the fire, all of that is real. And the New Jerusalem coming down from heaven, that is real. And I'm glad I'm going there, and I'm glad that in chapter 21 of Revelation, the day before yesterday, we read that, tells about heaven. So I hope that that you're aware of that. So we want to start out in the book of Genesis with the creation story. I want you to understand that it is absolutely relevant in your life, and I believe if someone doesn't believe in the creation story, I don't have much faith in that person and their testimony. If someone tells me they are an evolutionist and they're a Christian, that's it. Like the bishop said, it don't go together. It don't go together. One of our dear bishops said, as part of our police chaplains, he's very figurative when he speaks, and he says certain things don't go together. And Christianity and evolution, they don't go together, and it's not compatible. So I want to be compatible with God, and I want to believe this marvelous creation story, which I do. Now, the first 3 chapters are for today, so read them. You might have another sort of schedule you follow. I have a certain one I follow. It's not original with me. I took it, the Moody Bible Institute published it many, many years ago, and I've used that same format for all of these years that I've read the Bible, all these 42 years, and we used the same schedule and gone through the Bible in a year. Old Testament and New Testament. They recommend Old Testament for the morning and New Testament for the evening. I read it all in the morning. I'm tired at night. I believe if you get up early and do what you're supposed to and work hard during the day, you get tired. You need to go to bed at night, and so I read it all in the morning. So this is what it is, and how wonderful it is that God could make something out of nothing, and that He's so powerful and so wonderful and new, the new year and the new beginning that we can have in this year to serve God. Now, I just want to say this to you today, that I hope that you're a saved person. If you're not a born-again Christian, you need to be saved. I always want to, as we go through the Bible, looking at the Bible, going through the Bible in a year, many times people might put it up on the internet and they're interested. Maybe they'll see the heading creation or creation versus evolution, and they'll take some thought to that. But the important thing, remember that the Bible, from the beginning of Genesis to the end of Revelation, is the Jesus book. In the beginning, God created. The person of the Godhead that was used in the creation was the Lord Jesus Christ. John chapter 1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Not like the Jehovah's false witnesses say that was a God. No, they're wrong on that. Jesus is Jehovah. Jesus is God. And it says all things were made by Him, and there was not anything made that was made of it. So Jesus Christ, the great Creator, created the heavens and earths, and created you and I. And the thing that we want to take note of as we read it, that when He created man in His own image, and He breathed into him the breath of life, and he became a living soul. We are so different. You know, very sad thing today in our society. We've given the funny thing going on in America today. We're killing babies and saving animals. Now, I'm for saving animals, don't get me wrong. I'm glad for the dog pond and the Humane Society and rescue groups. But some people go to seed on that and they get all taken up with animals. We're different than animals. They are made for our behalf. They've been made to have a kitty cat or a dog and a pet, and have a horse to ride on, have a cow to eat, or a chicken or a pig. And he's created the animals for us, and we have, as it tells us, as if you read the chapters this day, Genesis 1, 2, and 3, that we have to have dominion over them, and we do. The elephant is so much stronger than we are, and the hippopotamus, and we're no match in strength and battle against a lion, but we're so much smarter. So we have dominion over them, and we have them in cages, and we put them in the zoo. I don't know if that's good or not. Some people are violently against that, so they should be left out in their natural habitat, and that might be so. They'd probably be happier with that. But the truth of the matter is, we have the ability and we have dominion over them, and we can put them in a cage if we want, and we can have dominion over them, which we do. Man is a wonderful creation, created in God's image. Can you imagine that He wanted fellowship with man, and God made man in His image. Now, the sad thing is that a very, very sad thing happened. The Bible says, wherefore as by one man sin entered into the world, and death by sin. And so death passed upon all men, for that all have sinned. Oh, it started way back there in the Garden of Eden. Way back there, first man And God said, Adam looked lonely, so made Eve. And the word Eve means the mother of all living. Someone was saying, one of my church members, he studies the Bible a lot, and he witnesses for Christ, and he runs into funny people, and oh, somebody ran into the other day said, oh, there's someone before Eve. Her name was Lily. Now I don't know anything about that. There's no Lily in the Bible, and oh yeah, and Lily was before Eve, and then there's other people besides that. No, that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says that Adam and Eve were the first people, and Eve was the mother of all living. Sad to say, Adam made a mistake. Instead of leading his wife, he followed his wife and sinned, and took of that fruit. You say it was apple tree. I don't know if it was an apple tree or not. It might have been. It was some kind of a fruit, and they ate it, and they sinned, and they lost their license to live in that Garden of Eden forever and ever without sin, because they sinned. All have sinned. Oh, isn't that something? Everybody since Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, and down through the ages, everybody, all sinners. I run into self-righteous people all the time. They're religionists. You know, your religion's never going to get you to heaven. I talk to people every day that think they're good. They feel sorry for these sinners, but they don't realize they're a sinner themselves. There's no one not a sinner. All have sinned, come short of the glory of God. The Bible says if we say that we have no sin, we lie, and the truth is not in us. So all sinners, not able to save ourselves. The heart of man, desperately wicked. We say man was born innocent. No, man wasn't born innocent. We've got a foolish humanistic philosophy today that says there's a lot of good in man, and different influences have made it bad, and we wonder why people do the heinous crimes that they do. And just recently they spent just days and days and weeks, and maybe a couple of weeks on it, because of a crazy killer. Shot his mother in the face and killed her, and then went to her school and killed a bunch of children. How terrible. But that goes on all over the world every day. There's heinous crimes like that. And what is it? Is it because of environment? No, it's not because of environment. We had a talk on that. I'm going to be on a live talk radio show today, and Lord willing, it's supposed to be today. I'm just called to confirm that we're going to have it. I believe we will, and it's a call-in show, but there was a big talk there last time we were on a month ago about North Korea and the terrible prison they have there. Only one person, he's the only guy they knew escaped, and he escaped because he wanted better food. And he talked against, put evidence against his mother and father. They were executed, didn't have had thought about that at all. How do people not have any thought about having their parents tell on them to be executed? And how does someone shoot their mother in the face and kill a bunch of children? Because of the devil. Because of the devil. Someone made mention that, oh, well, it's the environment of North Korea. Oh, no. Oh, no. Go right across the border into South Korea. You've got God over there. There's a fellow over there named Cho. He's got a big church. I think about 150,000 people in his church. And South Korea is Christian. And you take an airplane, fly over Korea, North Korea, and South Korea at night. North Korea is dark, no lights. They ain't got electricity. In South Korea is light, because the light of the world is Jesus, and you put some lights up too, and you do some work and sell some cars and do some good things. So no, it's not the environment. North and South Korea are very close to one another there geographically, but it's God that makes the difference. The whole aspect of good and evil, right and wrong, it has to do with God and forgiveness of sins. Oh, the devil's the prince of the power of the air. He's running wild. There's only one hope for the United States of America in this new year, and that's belief in the Lord Jesus Christ. There's some salt left. There's preachers like me and other preachers and other Christians that God has still spared America and had his mercy upon us, but But we're about gone. Killing over 4,000 babies every day, and now their states are legalizing men marrying men and women marrying women, and talking about legalizing dope, and they say, well, it's not any worse than alcohol. What's good about alcohol? The trouble brought by alcohol, it supersedes all other drug problems combined. The legal drug of alcohol. What a heartache. And many of you that would watch this video, you've had problems in your own life with alcohol, or you know some dear loved one, a relative or someone, where alcohol has destroyed their life. It's the great killer. And of course, last night, we'll be reading today. I very seldom look at the paper, but you'll read it today and hear it on the news of the drunks that shot somebody last night, New Year's Eve, or ran someone over with a car, or some kind of craziness because of the legal. But they want to legalize all of it now. They say, oh, that's the thing to do. It'll be fine. Marijuana is no worse than alcohol. Who said alcohol is any good? Marijuana ain't any good either. But Genesis, chapter 1, 2, and 3, and in the book of Matthew, chapter 1, has all those genealogies. I remember what Dr. Rice used to say. He was Dr. John R. Rice, evangelist and great author. Some said, Dr. Howell said Dr. Rice was the mightiest pen of the 20th century and wrote many books. And you can get his books from the Sword of the Lord, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. But Dr. Rice, he used to always say that sin is a terrible thing, and the wages of sin is death. He was the best soul winner that I ever knew, and what a wonderful thing it was that he could be an influence, and now gone on and has left all these books for us to read. So it's a wonderful thing. We have Genesis 1, 2, and 3, Matthew chapter 1, and what I meant to say about Dr. Rice, finishing that off, he said you skip over the genealogies. The genealogies are important. He said every person in those genealogies of Christ is very important, and all the names in the Bible, God has them all for a reason and a purpose. And so we should study it and read it and know all about it. I don't know much about it as he did. I'm trying to learn a little bit more and stay in the Bible every day. So please pray for us as we start out. We're looking to have the greatest year ever for the Daytona Rescue Mission. It's a difficult year this last year, recession time, and gifts not there like they had been. Maybe sometime you want to be, you've heard this, and you care about homeless people and poor, and the one thing we do is a whole bunch different than others. We have social service agencies that feed meals and give clothing and shelter, all of those things, humanitarian things, but we give the gospel. And we never do anything in the realm of the physical unless we preach the gospel. We try to bring people to Christ. That's the only thing going to change anybody. That's the only thing going to really take them out of drugs and other problems, laziness and all of that. They need Christ. They need to be born again. So you might feel led to start to be more involved with the mission, maybe in a financial way. DaytonaRescueMission.org. You can give securely online, DaytonaRescueMission.org. Just hit the thing on there, donate now, and you can do that, or come visit us, 501 Ridgewood Avenue, Holly Hill, Florida, or our post office box. If you'd like to mail us a gift, or mail us a letter, or whatever, is post office box 2628, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32115. 2628. Our telephone number is 386-252-5570. So we're starting out the year. It's Genesis. I hope you'll follow through and read this year, because Genesis is wonderful. We need to start out right. And thank you. There's some that'll see this video, and they'll have read through the Bible this past year, and they're starting again. Keep it up. God bless you. I know some dear folks, I'm thinking of a number of names right now, that do it every year, and we pray that you'll do it again. God bless you. We'll talk to you later.